Wanted to show you something on your EGT probe. I was driving my '04 Dodge Cummins the other day, and I went to pass somebody, totally my fault. Had my cruise control on. I was climbing a steep hill. My EGT spiked really high for about 10-15 seconds, and I mean really high. I had it fueling turned up. This is your probe, goes in between your number 5 and number 6. Most of you are fully aware of that. I just undid mine to pull it out and thought, hey, I haven't seen a video on this. Wanted to show you a couple of things. First thing is these tubing wrenches. This is just a Harbor Freight Special Pittsburgh. These make it so much easier to get those off. I didn't have to spray any penetrating oil or anything like that. First of all, I don't really want that on my exhaust. I mean, you can, it'll burn off. But this took that out super easy. It was a 9/16, popped right out. Second, it just goes across your firewall and connects to these two leads right here. And I'm just gonna re-zippy tie it back across the firewall there. But I wanna show you how to test this probe. This is what I had not seen somebody else do. And it's kind of common sense if you know how the probes work, but if you don't know how it works, it's not common sense. So these measure resistance to calculate what that heat is. And what happened when I went to pass somebody, my EGT spiked way high, and I'm 99% sure it melted a wire inside of there to where they are touching bare wires inside this probe here now. So what you do is you go to your multimeter, switch it over to ohms, and I'm gonna go to 20,000. Kind of doesn't matter, to be honest with you. And ohms is the upside down horseshoe, if you're not aware of that. If this is a good probe, a good EGT probe, it's like touching the two ends of the leads together. See, I'm touching these leads together, it zeroes out. If it's a bad probe, I go inside of here, both making contact. See, it says open, OL, open load, open limit. People call it all sorts of different things. It's open, it's an open circuit, meaning that they're not touching. It's no different whether I'm touching it or not. If I go to the new one, and here's the part number for a new one, and I do buy the exact probe from Edge. I don't buy some cheap knockoff. These are a lot better quality. I'll be honest with you, this is my second, well, this is technically my third. I've had 2 of these for 20 years. The original one, and then one I replaced about 10-ish years ago. And if you've ever ridden with me, I'm not really kind to them. So there we go. We got one on the red and one on the yellow. And see how it zeroes out? I'm gonna lift my probe off, put it back down. That's a good probe. So this probe is going through, and it doesn't matter if I have the red on red and the black on yellow or red on yellow, it doesn't matter. It's just connecting that circuit. Same thing, is zeroes out. If I lift it off, opens up, touch it back down, zeroes out. So this is a good probe. There's the part number. I'll put the part number down in the description. Here is the bad probe, and like I said, I know I melted the wire over there. If we cut that open, I guarantee there's bare wires touching inside of there now. A couple other things in there. Ohms, ohm meter, upside down horseshoe. This is not expensive ohm meter. I want to say this is like 35 bucks at Home Depot. I do like the Klein Tools one. Any of them will work as long as it has an ohm setting. That's what that upside down horseshoe is. Tubing wrench from Harbor Freight. Makes it a lot easier. You don't have to. You can use a crescent wrench. You could use a box end wrench. Doesn't matter. The tubing wrench just grabs it on more sides. It's actually just a little bit easier. Last thing I want to show you though is they ship inside of here, and I'll take a picture after because I can't do it both at the same time. They have heat shrink inside of here. If you don't have a DeWalt heat gun, it does take longer. It does take longer, but these do a much better job of applying that heat shrink around those tubing. So I'm gonna take and grab tools here, come back up here, grab our zippy ties, and we'll go back up to our truck. I'm going to start off by connecting these together. They even give us new screws for it. And then I'm just going to run it right up along the firewall and put it back in. I'll take a video of the final, or maybe I'll even try and show you one using that heat gun to heat shrink. That's not really rocket science, but it really does do a better job. Edge is smart when they send these out. Notice how the yellow wire here is shorter and the red wire is longer. I put the heat shrink tubing on the red wire on that side, and vice versa on the other side on the probe. The yellow wire is longer. They do that so that you can offset these and not have them fighting for the same space. When I wrap these up, little electrical tape or whatever, it won't be fighting for that space. It's actually a pretty slick little idea. So I put one on the yellow side, one on the red side, and then I'm going to connect these, and I'm going to use their new screws and the bolts and nuts that they send with it. They are a nylon base, and it has been hot inside the engine block, so I am going to use the new ones they provide just so they hold better, and we'll heat shrink those on. All right, we got both of those connected now and the heat shrink put over it. I'm gonna fire up the heat gun here and start giving it some heat. Like I said, it does take longer with the heat gun, but I do like the overall outcome of it better than what I do with just trying to apply heat with a lighter or whatever else to it. It does shrink down better. And good. I got that over there a little further, but it's fine. See how it just molds better and we're not getting a real hot spot in one particular place. I'll move down to this one, and then I'm gonna set it down and twist that cable around and get the other side. Look at that. So clean, so nice. All right, I'll set this down, finish this up, and then show you the routing and then the final test. All right, and then my final run, try to keep it away from that heater hose the best that I can. It's kind of hard to get it past there. Run it along that existing wire harness along the wall there, the firewall, and then come back through and cut these zip ties off flush. Make sure you don't get the cable. Boy, in that video it looks like it's going to get the cable. It's not. Up to you. You can cut those off a little long or a little short. Leave them a little long. The next person who works on your car might be you. You can donate blood for a good cause, as they are typically razor sharp. So, but cut those bad boys off. You can see I clip that whole harness right together there where it comes out of the module. I'll pick all these loose pieces up. 2 more, and then we can show you the test of it. I'm gonna pick these up when they fall. Right dead center in the middle of the truck, because that's how you find dead center of the vehicle is drop a bolt or a 10mm socket, you choose. All right, everything's good there. By the way, if you don't have one of these tool roll bags, you don't know what you're missing out. They are awesome. All right, everything's clear here. There's the old nuts and bolts from the old probe. All right, everything looks buttoned up here. That's tightened up. Again, that was a 9/16. Let's put that little loop there, so if there was some flex, there shouldn't be, but if there was, it has something to go. Now, if we jump in here, there's our old Edge with Attitude. It's already reading the accurate outside air temp. Climbing just like you would expect. Perfect. Easy peasy. I think that's right where it should be sitting at idle, about 200 degrees. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Honestly, not a 10-minute job beginning to end, 10-15 minute job. I did just want to show you that testing that, And you could probably test it while it's in the vehicle. You don't even have to take it clear off. You just got to cut that heat shrink back right there and look to see if you're getting an open limit or open load, open circuit on that EGT probe.